friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Today we're going to be talking about Italy, what we can learn from the Italians about food and dining. I've been doing quite a few what we can learn from recently, and the reason for that is I'm working on my book, the Family Food for Moms book on inspiration and what we can learn, why we want to cook what we do from scratch, and all these amazing cultures and people from the past that we can learn from in doing this. I think it's so valuable, and being inspired by what others have done and seeing the ways that people do things is really helpful and really insightful, and really helps us to know helps us to figure out the way we want to do things in our families. I've always been so inspired by the French style of eating and cooking, and we've tried to incorporate aspects of that in our family. For example, breaking up the meal into separate courses so that we can eat slowly and enjoy each course with some good conversation, and not just have one quick thing and then we all jump up. Really helps us to have some good special time together at the table when we break things up into courses, and it's more fun and interesting. And then you don't have to have such a huge main course, because you've got a little starter or appetizer, which is vegetables. You've got a cheese course, which really fills you up and helps with digestion, and it makes it simpler and it makes it more nutritious. So let's talk about Italy and Italians. I'm sure we all love pizza and pasta. There's a lot we can learn from the Italians when it comes to their approach to eating. There's simplicity, quality, and tradition. So quality ingredients are so important to Italians. They won't just eat any pasta. They'll carefully select the pasta that's been dried for a few days. Instead of just a few hours, it'll be whiter in color. It'll be just a better quality pasta, and it'll taste good. And then they won't just take any cheese. They'll use the best quality Parmigiano Reggiano or something else that really complements the pasta. So quality ingredients. They'll use what's available, what's seasonal, perhaps from the markets, ripe tomatoes, basil leaves from the plant, and then a very good quality olive oil. And then that's enough to make a lovely dish: pasta, olive oil, tomatoes, and basil, maybe with a bit of garlic. And it's so delicious and so simple. So number 2, simplicity is key. Italian cuisine is all about letting the ingredients shine. So you have these really good quality ingredients, not too many of them, and then it makes a wonderful dish, but it's so simple. So a bowl of pasta, olive oil, garlic, and Parmesan on the top. Each element is carefully chosen, and it complements the other things. Then a lot of Italian dishes come from centuries-old traditions, grandmothers passing it down to daughters and sons and grandchildren. There's a very significant cultural heritage behind their food, and then it's passed down through the generations. Often they have a story behind a dish and ways to preserve food, and they place great importance on family and community. Meals are social events shared with family or friends, just like in Spain and in France. Food is a way to connect, to celebrate together, to enjoy each other's company, and even the act of cooking is done in community. So the simplicity, the quality, buying food in season that's full of flavor, and the importance of family and community. Italy also has a rich culinary diversity like Spain, each region having its own distinct flavors, ingredients, traditions, and also specific ways of preparing food that are unique to them. Many of their dishes require time and patience and experience to prepare well, whether it's ragu, slow cooked, or pizza dough made just right. Italian cuisine is one of the most beloved in the world and well known. So let's talk about some of the iconic dishes. Pizza is the first one to come to mind, originating in Naples. And there's various takes on this. Some people love a thin, crispy crust, and some people love the deep, doughy crust. But the Italian ingredients of fresh tomatoes, mozzarella, basil, and olive oil are sometimes the simplest and the best for a pizza. Then pasta. Again, as I mentioned before, using a good quality cheese like Parmigiano Reggiano, a good quality olive oil, and a good quality pasta make these pasta dishes amazing. Risotto is a famous Italian dish made from arborio rice and also parmesan, and then various things like mushrooms inside that amazing risotto. Antipasti, have you heard of bruschetta? Or caprese salad, which is the sliced tomatoes in between mozzarella slices and basil, olive oil, and balsamic. This is one of my favorite salads. And so easy to just cut slices of the tomatoes and the cheese. Make sure that your tomatoes are really ripe. I like to put them outside in the sun for a few hours. It makes them extra red and extra nutritious. And then cured meats and cheeses, prosciutto, salami, all kinds of cheeses as well. Mozzarella and pecorino being well known. Then soups, the minestrone soup, the papa al pomodoro, a rustic tomato and bread soup from Tuscany. And then there'll be the seafood dishes, the meat dishes like osso bucco, and desserts. Famous desserts like tiramisu and panna cotta are amazing. Italian food is so much more than just fuel. It's a celebration of tradition, regional identity, and amazing ingredients. Each dish tells a story of Italy's rich culinary heritage. Let's talk a little bit about school lunches in Italy. We've done school lunches in France and in Spain. As in many places in Europe, school lunches are taken very seriously and are well balanced, nutritious, and a good part of food for the day. Italian schools prioritize wholesome meals, and they often feature a mix of local ingredients and traditional dishes. So often they will have fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains and legumes, lean proteins like fish or chicken, and then olive oil as the primary fat. The goal is to provide children with a healthy, satisfying meal to fuel them for the school day. So these are very close to Mediterranean diet principles again, like in Spain. So there'll be a first and a second course with side dishes and then fruit or dessert for a typical school lunch. So the first course, or primo piatto, is often pasta or rice or soup. Common dishes would be pasta with tomato sauce or a pesto, risotto with vegetables, mushrooms, seafood, or even meat, or a soup like minestrone soup. Then the second course, secondo piatto, that's usually a protein-based dish, as I said, chicken or fish most often, served with a side of vegetables or salad. So chicken or turkey, grilled or baked, fish grilled or stewed in a tomato sauce, meatballs or meatloaf, polpetta, which is meatballs. Then the side dish would be vegetables or salads that complement the main courses. For example, steamed or sauteed vegetables like zucchini or carrots, seasonal salads with a simple dressing of olive oil and vinegar. And then the fruit or dessert would be a piece of fruit like an apple, pear, or banana. That's common. But sometimes there would be a dessert such as yogurt, sweetened yogurt pudding, biscotti, and sometimes French bread. So lunch in an Italian school is usually around 12:30 or 1, which is earlier than in Spain, but later than some other countries. And the lunchtime would last 45 minutes to an hour, giving the students time to relax, to eat their food, to enjoy it, and not be in a hurry. Many schools emphasize the idea of eating together communally, like a family-style meal at the table, that they sit down and enjoy together. So the Italian school lunch philosophy is about more than just feeding the children, but it's about teaching them the importance of good food. And I think this is so valuable for us to learn from. Children need to learn good food. They need to have a palate that is happy to try new things, steeped in cultural traditions. They need to learn about the value of shared meals. And the lunchtimes are seen as an opportunity to slow down, connect with others, and enjoy the pleasures of food. Another example of a school lunch: first course, penne pasta with tomato sauce with a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. Second course, grilled chicken breast with a side of sauteed spinach and carrots. Dessert, a small apple or banana, and then drink would be water and occasionally a small glass of juice. In the north, meals might more often feature polenta, risotto, and meats like pork and beef. In the south, more often it would be pasta with seafood, vegetables, and olive oil. Italian school lunches provide kids with nourishing meals that reflect Italy's broader commitment to quality food and good health, and helping children have a positive attitude towards eating. So what's your favorite Italian food, or your family's? Somehow Italian is one of the friendliest types of food, I think. Going out for pizza, going out for pasta, even if it's not always authentically Italian, is definitely a favorite and is always amazing. So again, to think about principles we can apply at home, making the mealtime a special time of connection and community, so slowing down, not rushing, savoring the food together, and then perhaps having courses so that the meal can be extended, enjoying a small portion of one thing and then a small portion of something else for variety, but also so that you don't have to eat a huge amount of one thing. And then buying what's in season, buying good wild-caught fish or things from a local market, because when they're fresh, they're always going to taste the best and they're going to have the highest nutrient value. And then making simple meals using those really good quality ingredients, because they'll taste so good and because they already have high nutrition, then we don't need to spend a huge amount of time cooking fancy stuff. We can cook simpler things that do the job perfectly. Having a charcuterie board with some meats and cheeses on as one of your courses, having a simple soup or risotto as one of your courses at home. There's so many different types of Italian olives. There are Kalamata olives, Mission olives, the green olives, I'm not sure of the actual name, and then the tapenades, which are the mashed or crushed up olives. Those are so amazing to have on bread, to dip crackers in and to add to your charcuterie board. And then having pasta or fish with a few vegetables. Something like a really simple pasta works. Or fish with a sauce on the side to make it just more interesting. Oh, and we can't forget one of my absolute favorite things to do, which is very much Italian, but I did mention it with the Spanish food as well, and that's to take some crusty bread and then to have a bowl with olive oil and a little balsamic vinegar drizzled in, and then to dip the bread into that mixture of oil and vinegar. Instead of using butter, it's delicious. You should try it. It's a very different way of eating bread. You can do the same with bread sticks or even crackers, but with crusty bread, it really works the best. And then another amazing Italian dessert, other than the tiramisu and the panna cotta, is Italian kisses, which you can find in most supermarkets. And that would be a flavored ice cream enrobed in chocolate. Really amazing. So Italians can teach us a lot about good food, good dining, and good fellowship at our tables. I hope this inspired you as it has me, and I hope you have a good week and enjoy thinking up some simple things that you can cook that your family will enjoy. See you next time.